Okay, so here we're at round 2, right? Phase 1, day 1, round 2, and we have, just making sure we have split side lunge, we have V-sits with knee in, and we have high pull row. All right. So now we of course we did our first split squats this way, right? 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. So we're just going to simply open it up this way here. Now we can do this with or without dumbbells. Dumbbells, if we're going to use dumbbells in the exercise, we'll put them on our shoulders here. Elbows nice and high. Just be careful of your lower back. Don't overarch your lower back. Soften your knees. Remember the SAMs, knees soft, core tight, shoulders back and down, and activate. So activate, I'm going to drop into my hips. So I'm going to sit into my left side here. Right, so I'm going to straighten out the right leg and drop into my left hip, keeping those elbows high. Right, so what I'm using it for is a powerful stretch of my adductors, my inner thighs, my left hamstring for sure. I'm sitting into my left glute, weights on my heel. I'm going to push off that heel, come straight up and drop straight down into it again. Right, so I can get really low into it. I'm not loading my knee. I'm sitting way back into that left hip. Huge stretch of my right thigh, pushing off my left heel, coming straight up. And I'm going to do all my reps on one side before I move to the other. So again, it's a split side lunge. Again, huge stretch, which is what I want it for you. If you find doing it with weight challenging, you can hold the dumbbell to your chest as such, or you can do it non-weighted and simply out here for balance, dropping into it as far as you can, but do not load the knee forward, but push the hip back. Let's go drop on the floor here. We have our V-sits with knee in. So V-sits with knee in. Now the first block, we're bringing the knees straight up and in. Now we're going to bring the knees in towards our chest. We're actually going to push the knees in and out. However, sequence is always the most important thing. Rather than just bringing your knees back and forth, which you see quite often, we don't want the psoas to do all the work, meaning your hip flexors. So what our focal point is going to be here is, again, get your balance here, keep those core muscles nice and tight so you're active through that lower belly. And then I want you to press your ribs towards your hips, then bring the knees in and keep the lower belly strong as you move out. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now again, I'm not just bringing my knees in. That's the last thing that happens. The first thing that happens, I'm pressing my ribs to my hips. See that action? Pressing the ribs to the hips and then focusing on bringing my ribs and my hips a little closer together each and every time, which in turn brings the knees forward. So bring it in and control, and 1 and control. Again, you can always put your hands out here for a little bit more balance challenge. And control, and you notice my feet are apart, which makes it, again, yet a little bit harder. But we're really trying to minimize the hip flexor involvement. There's some, but we want to get most of that lower belly. Now, third exercise is a high pull row. Let's get back on our feet here. Knees soft, core tight, shoulders back and down, right? And if I do it from a little bit of a side view here. So the high pull row is simply from here. So knees soft, core tight, shoulders back and down. We're going to have the palms facing back, right? So your palms facing towards your backside. And I'm simply going to bring the elbows out and wide. And as I come up, I'm not bunching into my neck. I'm coming up. I'm bringing those elbows back a little bit. So the top of the movement here, my neck is completely free to move. My wrists are below my shoulders, below my elbows, right? So as I go through the motion, it's from here and open. Right, again, my neck is completely free to move. I'm not straight, not locking my knees. I'll keep my knees soft. And 1, and 2, and 3, right, and 4. You get it? So this is the high pull row. Again, no pressure in my knee, my neck. My nice little center of gravity. I feel between my trapezius, so between my back muscles here, and the upper back. So that's my high pull row. All right, let's head on to the third block here.